Evening, everyone. It's 5:45, and this is your Thursday, September the 23rd closing comment, and it was a very interesting day. This is video number 949. Excuse me, and I remind everyone to hit that subscribe button for the YouTube channel and the little notification bell so you always see what's going on. Okay, so we had plenty of news today. We had the first thing was the claims, like every Thursday, and initial claims showed up 16 to 351,000, but in fact, it was up 31 because they revised last week's down 15. So that was the deal on initial claims. And on continuing claims, we were 2,845,000, and that was up 131,000. So not as they would have wished. LEI was up 0.9% versus up 0.6% last month. And the PMI manufacturing was a substantial miss, as was services. The PMI number was 60.5 versus 61.1 expected, and services 54.4 versus 55.1, so a decline there. We also had a bunch of earnings and a couple of guidance changes. We'll start with DRI, Darden Restaurants, beat top and bottom, and the stock, which was up about 6 this morning, actually finished 159.43, up $9.11, 6.1%. Nike was a miss on revenues. Supply chain issues. The stock had closed at 159.58, which was up a bit, and when the numbers came, it traded down as low as 152. I have the last as about 155, down 2.5, and so that's 2.5 net change on the day, but 4.5 down from where it actually closed. Costco, on the other hand, was a beat top and bottom line. It had closed at 452.78, up just 45 cents, and traded all the way up to 459.5. Last is 457, and that's up $4.67, 1.2%. And CRM, Salesforce, big upgrade on their guidance. And the stock, which this morning was up about $8 at 267, actually closed 277.86, up 18.69, or 7.2%. Accenture, ACN, same thing, better guidance. Stock closed up $8.34, or 2.5%. High on the Dow today was up 621, and we finished up 560. 506.50, up 1.5%. The Nasdaq up 155, a little over 1%. S&P up 1.2% at up 53.34. The big winner again, the Russell up 40.48, or 1.82%, and the transports without the extreme action that we had yesterday in FedEx on their miss, finished up 233.62, or 1.67. The VIX came down a chunk, over 10%, closing at 1863, down 224, 10.4%. The chart on the screen is the one that I was pointing out this morning. It is Nat Gas. I told you that we were right down here. I had been looking for 475 on a pullback when everybody was saying, oh, it has to hold $5. In point of fact, it traded 473.50, 474.40, and then this morning 474.10, but closed 503, pardon me, 504.30, up 1880, or almost 4%. Clearly a nice turn back to the upside. Unfortunately, by the time that the UNG options were open with stocks, this had already started to rally, and so we didn't get a chance to get in there. The gold was down $30 today, actually 29, I think was the exact number. Came right back down, and this is another one of those that I'm going to mention. I mentioned this morning about Dennis and the gold-only futures trading account, and Dennis told me this morning that his number, his Fibonacci number, was 1738, the low for the day 1737 and a half, the close almost 1750. So that was clearly profitable off that number that he was using, although I know he was going to be using a stop at 1735. So I'll have to check with him and see how that actually worked out. I know that he generally doesn't like to trade opposite the trend for the week. And as you can see, the trend for the week, with it being down here, is definitely to the downside. I mean, Monday we had a nice day of up 12, and then we followed that with up 14. And then yesterday, as I mentioned to you, we were basically unchanged, even though silver was higher and platinum was higher. Today, the gold fell right back through there. So we'll see if it holds that 1735 overnight. Bitcoin was up 1,400. The dollar was down 43 cents. And another big mover on the day were the bonds and the notes. Bonds finished down 1 and 19/32, so like 1 and 5/8, which is a very substantial move. And the 10-year finished down about 3/4 of a point. Also, those were very profitable trades. We have Carnival Cruise Line's earnings tomorrow. And today, while the internals were positive, they weren't overwhelming, and volume was also not overwhelming. Advanced declines were barely 2-to-1 up, not 2-to-1 up on the NYSE, and on the NASDAQ, they were 2.7-to-1 up. Volume was about unchanged, which you'd like to see stronger advanced declines, and on a 600-point rally day, you would certainly want to see more volume. Real estate and utilities were the weak sisters. Financials, energy, materials, and industrials all stronger. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning tomorrow, and I remind you several things. First of all, hit that subscribe button for our YouTube channel. It costs you nothing to do that. And if you want any information from me on the futures trading, the gold only account, which is just $15,000 of commitment, just direct message me or call or send me an email, and I will get you all the information out. Have a good evening.